We are trying to get to space, and we have been making a lot of progress lately. We have been setting up fueling systems, fuel loaders and things, and go downstairs, and we have our fuel, whatever this is called, fuel refinery, and we've also got the turtles and things, which we are doing because of a thinking pack is a mod pack where we are trying to do things more complicated than they need to be done. That is not the only feature of a thinking pack, but that is one of the features. So, we are trying to do that. We are taking a slight detour from that because today we are going to be mapping out our farms and things like that and getting ready to set up some farms inside the base, because what we've got here is we've got a situation where this room here looks very gray. It looks very gray indeed, and we can't have that. We need to do something with this room. We need to do something to make it look fancy and a different color than the rocket. It needs to look nice and bright and bold and different colors, and we are going to be trying that today. But in order to get to that, we need to expand our farms room over here. So our farms room, we have a small sheep farm. In order to color the entire walls of that base over there, that section of the base, the rocket room, it's going to take a lot of wool to color them properly, so we are going to need to expand our sheep farm. Also, we might as well set up the area for the tree farm that we'll get in the future, and also, in order to expand the sheep farm and breed the sheep and stuff like that, we will need wheat like crazy, and so we need to make a wheat farm. And there is a program that I made actually a number of years ago for running a turtle to run a wheat farm. That is actually quite interesting. We will get to that probably not today, but that is the direction we are heading. We are taking a bit of a detour, and we will, once we get all that done and get the rocket room colored and stuff like that, we shall get back to the project. And also I have a new idea for how to handle the turtles going and bringing the buckets up and down and stuff like that, and we can discuss that later. So let's get to it. But first, the idea for fueling the rocket. So what the idea is, so what we were discussing in a previous episode was that we would basically need to take these turtles here, and we would need, in order to transport, what we were trying to do, for those of you guys who are new to the series, we are trying to take oil from here in buckets and transport that through turtles, which transport it down around and things and go down through those little holes down there and go into the place and transfer the oil down into the refinery. That is what the idea is. From this tank here, whoops, I just broke part of the tank. Okay, good thing the whole tank did not unravel. That would not have been good. But here was the problem. So we got a tank here. Let's go ahead and set this thing back up like this. There we go. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that in order to program that, we basically need to handle the turtles changing directions. They need to come up, straight up, and then turn and go this way, and then turn and go this way, and then reach here. And that is simple enough, but what happens if it's partway through and then we shut down the world and load the world again, and then the turtle, we don't know which way it's facing and stuff like that. And I don't know how to program that, how to program to account for which way it's facing in between restarting the world and stuff like that. So, what I'm thinking is that this is the wrong way to face. Okay, hello. What I'm thinking is that we're going to do it fancy and fun, and what we are going to do is have the turtles go straight up, no turning, but they're going to go straight up and probably run into a dropper, at which point the dropper will launch the items across, and they'll land in some hoppers over here. And so flying items through the air, and then these hoppers over here will get picked up by another turtle and will go over to here, or maybe by a pipe or something like that. But yeah, so this is going to be the contraption of the flying items through the air contraption. That is the idea. So, let's see what we can do about that, but that is not today. Today is we are going to go ahead and color this room, or at least attempt to, because here's the thing. In order to color this room, first of all, what color should we make it? We could, the ideal thing, let's go ahead and jump down here. Actually, yeah, let's not jump down there. Okay, but yeah, so the rocket room, we need to make it look fancy and stuff somehow, and look all bold colors and things like that. That might look very, very good. Now, here's the problem. Is that quartz would look ideal. Having quartz walls would look ideal for this thing, for this rocket room. So it's like it's got a black floor with white outline around certain things. And let me just check for any items down here that made it through the floor, the hole in the floor. And there aren't any. Okay, so we have in this rocket room, we have, just imagine this for a minute. We have a black floor. We have white outline around certain things. We have a big mess on the floor as well. And then we have the walls. And for the walls, we could do picking up these things. Wow, they made it down quite far over here. Yeah, so basically we could do white. I think would look best, like quartz white, so that it's very very solid and like just basically pure white, because the white wool has a lot of gray in it. It's not really pure white, as you can see. But if we were to put quartz on the walls, that is pure white, except that we don't have any. We have a little bit, but quartz, because we cannot go to the Nether, quartz is very, very expensive indeed, so we shall not be able to do that anytime soon. So, what we are left with is wool. Basically, that is what we are left with. So, wool around the walls. What would look good? So we could do white, but then, of course, you'd get a situation where you're looking at this here. You're looking at this here, and there's white wall behind it, and white underneath it, and it might look good, but it might not. So what other colors should we do? What colors would look good for a rocket? That is the question. Now, I think what might look good if we do red walls. That might be interesting, because red is kind of like danger, hazardous area or something like that, and the rocket is in here, and it also has a red thing on the top. That is really nice as well. But yeah, if we did red walls and then a black floor, whoops, let's actually fix the black floor. But yeah, that might look good. And then white outline around certain things, and there we go. And so that, I don't know, that might look good. We probably won't get to coloring it today anyways, so let me know what you guys think in the comments and stuff like that. But for now, what we are going to do is set up to do that, because in order, whatever color we use, in order to color the entire area with red wool, or with whatever color wool, that is a lot of wool. That is a lot of wool. We've got about 16 blocks this way, so you figure 4 rows of this is 64 blocks, which is a full stack. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks, and then you figure this thing is maybe, it would take maybe 100 stacks or something, just roughly estimating that number. But it might indeed take that amount of wool. So what we are going to try to do is go ahead and not run into the wall, but we are going to try to head over to our wool farm, and we are going to expand it, and we are also going to work on our wheat farm, because in order to get out of this hole that we're stuck in order to breed all of those sheep, basically here's the idea. So we need to lay out the floor plan, and we need to breed the sheep with a lot of wheat and stuff. So the floor plan, I'm thinking, for this area, we are trying to make a secret underground base, but right now most of our things are outside the base. They are on the outside area. And so here's the thing. I'm thinking cover this entire bottom floor with grass. That is the idea. And we'll be putting on higher floors higher up later. But for now, cover this entire bottom floor with glass. That would be interesting. But grass. And then this section, roughly about like this length of this pen here, we will extend it this way and have that being the sheep pen. So the sheep will go along here, and then we will have them split into 16 colors, because that is the colors of the wool. And you can dye the sheep, because for some reason that works in Minecraft anyways. So we will dye the sheep. We will create all the 16 colors of wool down this way. And then in the rest of this area, we have some options. So we need to set up some wheat farms. So I'm thinking maybe along that side there or something, we'll have some wheat farms, maybe a wheat farm and a carrot farm and a potato farm and a penguin farm. And penguin farm? Is there such a thing as a penguin farm? Anyways, yeah, so we might do that. And then the tree farm will take up the bulk of this area. And that is basically a matter of putting in trees. And by the way, in the intro clip, which you guys saw earlier in this video, I think it's still in the clip. I think it's still, after all the shrinking, the edits and stuff like that, I think it's still in the clip. And let me just go ahead and start filling in the floor with dirt while we're talking. But in the intro clip, you can see sort of when the train goes by, there is in the background, you can see some turtles spinning around and stuff. I think there's some trees in the area that you can see as well. And that is a program for an automatic tree farm. And that is a program that we are hopefully going to be getting to in the future as well, as soon as we set up the tree farm down here, which we will need to do fairly soon because trees are something that we are very low on, and we keep having to take a lot of time to go across to the other side of the lake to go ahead and chop down some trees and stuff like that. If we could have an automatic tree farm, then that would be a lot quicker. So that would be good, and you know what? This is probably going to be easier to do 3 blocks at a time than 4 because it's easier to line it up and stuff like that. So here is the thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to expand this area and then be back in a minute. You know what would make this so much easier? A turtle. Turtles make things so much easier. So what we're going to do with this turtle is we are going to set him up with a extremely simple program. All that he is going to do is basically, first of all, refuel. But, whoops, caps lock's on for some reason. Refuel, there we go. But basically, what he is going to do is just simply to go along and place down a row of cobblestone. That will make it so much quicker than otherwise. So let's go ahead and place a stack of cobblestone into this turtle and tell him, let's just make a simple program. First of all, let's label the turtle so that we don't lose the program upon breaking the turtle. Label set plays stuff. There we go. So let's go ahead and edit, and let's call a program plays in a line. There we go. He's going to place in a line, and all he is going to do, well, true is true. As long as true is true, then do this, okay? And end the loop down here. And what he is going to do, we are going to tell him to turtle dot, what was the command? Oh yes, it was place, I think. Place down, turtle dot place down, and turtle dot forward. There we go. So in a loop, in a while loop, he is going to place a block down and move forward. Place a block down and move forward. Place a block down and move forward, and he will keep doing that until he hits the wall, and then keep trying to move forward until we come and rescue him. That's basically what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and exit that, and then directory, what do we call it? Place in a line. Okay, let's run place in a line, and he is going to simply go forward and place them in a line. That's perfect. He's doing exactly what we asked him to do. And I'll just go ahead and fill this one in myself manually. And he is going along very nicely indeed. That is a well-behaved turtle. He is doing this very nicely. And we should see that it will be done in no time whatsoever. So there we go. He has now reached the end. He has now reached the end. All right, so terminate the program. And, oh, you know what? We could very simply tell this guy, instead of just going straight in a line, we could tell him, go straight in a line until you hit a block. And as soon as you hit a block, then go ahead and turn around into the next lane, and then go along until you hit a block again. That's basically what we could have him do. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and edit place in a line, and let's tell it, okay, so this would be, okay, so how exactly do we want to do that?